This is the RIOT podcast.
I feel like we're getting better.
Do you mean like
not as a show, but
the quality of the show is improving?
No. I feel like health-wise, I mean, I'm better now. Like when we started the show, we weren't sure how today was going to go.
You're right. After 4 to 5 hours of being awake, I'm beginning to feel a little better.
Bit better. I feel a bit more peppier. So I feel like we're on our way to recovery from these sinus infections.
Yeah, it's great. I just really grateful for, I mean, let me put it this way. In the show, we talk about the fact that today, Nikki and I are drug-free.
We are. And so, still blowing our noses.
Feeling great. Like everybody's coming together.
It's almost at the point where your body's a little bit mad. Like maybe that's why some of the side effects can manifest a little bit more because it knows like, hey, you're not giving me what I want. And what I want right now is a decongestant.
I do want a decongestant.
So your body's
getting
getting
mad. I do
mad.
have one in my pocket. And I'm a little mad. I'm mad that I still don't feel good. How about that? You want to get into it? Let's talk about it.
Now calm it down.
Okay.
Calm it down.
Today in the podcast, we do talk about the RIOT being drug-free.
Yeah.
We do talk about another Lord of the Rings book. Now, I was somewhere else in the building, and I heard that break of us talking about Lord of the Rings. I've been making, and you wouldn't believe it to listen to the show, but like I've been making an effort to be a little less nerdy. So like it's not in the podcast because we kind of didn't talk about it, but you know they cast a new Star Trek actor, and I was like, nope.
Not going to do it.
It's too inside baseball, bro. Like, normal people don't care about that. And then I heard me talking about this new Lord of the Rings book, and I was like, you know, that might be a little too inside baseball.
Does that also
that might be
fall into the category?
Because like, we start talking about the illustrator and the author, and I was like, you know what? Next time, we're going to back that down.
Sure.
We're going to back that down. But you know what's too late now?
Well,
so
it's out there.
We just went ahead and threw it in the podcast.
Okay. Well, you'll learn about Lord of the Rings. There is more details concerning, because we talked about it on Monday from Amazon. They're giving more details.
Yeah.
So now there's something else for Lord of the Rings.
Okay, but what about this? We also talk about the Horse Girl anime.
That is bad.
Right? Is that too inside baseball?
No, it's not, because we're not inside that baseball either.
We are not.
So it is all of us looking from the outside in.
Mm-hmm. So there's that.
Okay.
We also get into the Godzilla Instagram guy.
Yeah, that's cute.
Using the air dryer for your hands
That
at the
is sick.
restroom. Let's see. A Quiet Place. French toast chalupas. What it means to actually have a cold, and you're really going to like that one. A new TV series and the Yukon tow drink. You know, it's
ending
funny.
on a really high note.
Yeah, we get into some really nerdy stuff early on. And like as the day goes on, it's almost like I'm waking up and I'm like, okay, let's talk about real things now.
The toe drinking is real?
It's real.
Like that falls in the real category?
That is something that affects us all. Probably.
Well, enjoy the podcast. Don't forget to check out RadioU. I dropped my headphones.
Nikki dropped her headphones.
You guys couldn't hear that, but it's a mess.
Are those the headphones that you were remarking earlier don't sound right?
Yes, and I've dropped them twice. There, that's why you shouldn't have done that. I dropped them twice. Really well, check out, don't forget RadioU RIOT on Facebook. And you can join us on YouTube. Have a great day, guys. Bye.
Remember when we said things couldn't get any worse? We were wrong. It's the worst of the RIOT on Radio U.
Just like Nancy Reagan, Dare, and the 80s, I'm drug-free.
Yay! Woo! Congratulations!
Yeah.
No antibiotic or anything?
No,
or?
I mean, I'm still taking, I can take my antibiotic till it's over.
Okay, but no like,
I
Dayquil, NyQuil, all
no
the
NyQuil
baggie.
last night.
You've got the baggie.
I've got some Sudafed here if I want it. And then I also have some Advil, ibuprofen, whatever, like just in case. Because the ibuprofen to me, like that's
normal.
It's not psychoactive.
You're talking about the stuff that when you purchase it, you have to register for.
Yeah, I haven't had anything.
And then it makes you feel like you can do anything except get better.
So the sad part is that, you know, for the last few nights, I've been taking NyQuil, and I don't feel like I've been sleeping great, but I've been sleeping. Last night, it was just like, it was a train wreck.
Oh, you couldn't sleep?
I felt like I was exhausted all day, and then when it was time to go to bed, I was still exhausted, but my brain was like,
It's fine.
We don't need to sleep. It's overrated
anyway. You don't really want to sleep now.
Yeah.
Like you think you do, but you don't.
So I'm just wondering, and maybe you can tell me, maybe you can't. Does this end ever, or is this just going forever?
This is the new you.
Like, is there a corner that we can turn?
No,
or like a place where we
congratulations.
can...
This is it. it.
All right. Okay. Well, that's great.
Coughing, the nose blowing. This is what you wanted to become.
This was my dream.
This is
like
it.
in elementary school when they were like, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I was like, congested. That's what I want. It's going to be great.
Congratulations on achieving your dream at such an early age.
I know. It's, I almost wonder, where do I go from here? I'm going to need to dream some new dreams.
Back to the pharmacy.
Good call.
Oh, that's where you go.
Good call. Like, my bad. Of course I'm going to go there.
That's an honor.
So it's great. I'm really excited about it. So, yeah.
Well, you put that baggie away.
Okay.
You get that tissue box.
Get that temptation out.
All right. And let's just hydrate and let's have a great day.
All right. Because, you got to keep hydrating because how else are you going to make the snot?
You want to flush it out.
Yeah.
The Riot. Turn it down.
And rip the knob off.
Radio U.
Last night, I hit what I would call a milestone.
You did?
Yeah, I'm officially halfway through Lord of the Rings.
Oh, here's
So
an update.
I got to book 4. And if you're thinking, Obadiah, shut up, we're tired of hearing about it. Hey, this is news related. I assume you guys talked about the Lord of the Rings TV show.
We did. We talked, and Obi's rereading because I still think I'm afraid someone's tuning in and he's just now reading it. That's amazing.
Never even heard of it.
Like he's been into it for a long, long time. He's just rereading it.
Hey, do you know what a Hobbit is?
Have you seen those?
That's
Do you
amazing.
even know?
I heard they made
But
movies.
On Monday, we talked about Amazon, the Lord of the Rings TV series that's coming.
Yeah.
Its entirety, like all the seasons that they want to do, its budget is $1 billion.
$1 billion.
Which is just amazing. Now, remember, it's not the Lord of the Rings that you want to see.
Well, no, but did you guys really dig into the details?
What was it?
It is. Like, they have purchased not just the book/TV rights, but they purchased the rights
movie?
to things that were in the films that
Really?
were not in the books.
Wow.
So, basically, they're making a TV adaptation of the books and the movies squished together.
Well, that's better then.
Yeah, when I read that, it was like, ooh, that's part of why this is so expensive.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
So they got a right to all of that kind of stuff. But word on the street is we got another J.R.R. Tolkien book on the way. Now, he's been dead for a while.
But that doesn't stop a lot of people.
That doesn't
or
stop.
a lot of estates.
I was about to do what you just did. I was going to say, that does not stop air quoting the estate.
Where they're like, oh, we happen to have a Post-it note from this man, and we're going to turn it into a 3-book series.
We've just made an amazing discovery. 2 cocktail napkins that we have expanded slightly upon, and now we have this book.
Yeah, that's kind of what they do.
It's actually his son, Christopher Tolkien, who has done this. There's been a couple of books that have been released posthumously.
Sure.
And just Christopher Tolkien is 93 right now. So he said last year...
Wait, the son is 93?
Yes.
Oh, I was going to say, because at first I thought, well, why doesn't he just write as himself? Maybe give it a whirl.
Well,
but it doesn't seem like there's much left at 93.
He basically has spent all of this time going through his dad's old writings, and he will edit them, and he does some writing in some of the gaps, and then will release them. And so he released Beren and Luthien and the Children of Hurin, and now we've got The Fall of Gondolin. Dun, 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 dun.
That sounds very Lord of the Rings-ish.
I know. And it's got illustrations by Alan Lee, which won't mean anything to anyone, but he is one of the guys that is famous for illustrating The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, and he did a ton of production design for the movies that you may or may not have seen up till now. So this will be great. And these always come out, and they're so expensive.
The books?
They're like 100 pages, and they'll be like $30. It's really exciting. So.
Well, it's an honor to buy something.
Yeah.
Even though,
it is.
It is, like you said, probably based off a cocktail napkin.
Probably. I bought, which one was it? The Children of Hurin, I think, a couple of years ago. And I read it on a plane, but it only got me through my first leg. So
Because was that short?
It was very short.
And the plane ride was that long.
Actually, it was a little bit of both. But I don't know. I'd be interested in this because, remember, this tells the tale of the first stage. Morgoth, the first enemy.
Yeah, we're just too much.
Balrogs and orcs appear for the first time.
I'll wait for Amazon to spend another $1 billion. Yeah.
Oh, no, that's right.
Now that I know that some shows are coming on it.
You got to, put out a little prequel there anyway, so it'll be fine. The prequel to the prequel. Let's get, we've got 3 cocktail napkins, each one its own movie.
You can do it.
Bring in Peter Jackson.
Nikki and Obadiah. Obadiah and Nikki.
Love, hate, hate, love.
All right, everyone in, let's go!
It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Nikki, I need us to go to Japan because I need to know.
Because we just wanted to go for years.
Yes, but here's the thing that I need to know. We always find these weird parts of Japanese pop culture.
Yeah.
And I just have to know if these are mainstream things or if they're like, no.
Are you talking about what you sent me from Kotaku?
I am. Like, these are such a small part of culture that most mainstream Japanese people would mock it and they hate it.
No, I don't think it is. I think it's way more mainstream than the equivalent would be here.
You think so?
Yes, for this TV show.
Okay. We're going to describe the TV show to you in a second. But first, I want you, Nikki, with the knowledge you have.
Yeah.
What American equivalent could you pick out for something like this? Rick and Morty? That's something that's like popular but small.
Maybe. Yeah, I would pick something definitely on like Cartoon Network or Adult Swim.
Adult Swim.
It'd have to be Adult Swim.
It seems like it would have to be.
But even that, I don't think it's stylized exactly the same way.
Okay.
I don't know where it would fit.
Okay, because here's what it is. It's called Uma Musume Pretty Derby. And here's the...
I want you to remember the Pretty Derby part.
Here's the story. In this fictionalized Japan, there are people, and then there are horse people. And horse people are just like regular people, except they have tails and they have ears. And they run really fast. So the horse people go to a special high school. And let's be clear.
Like a stable, a barn.
I keep saying horse people, but it's really just about horse girls. So these horse girls all go to this high school that, as Nikki said, looks like a barn.
Yeah.
Where they have all the same difficulties of regular high school, but then they're also competing to be the fastest horse girl in Japan. Also, they have trainers, and also they stop and do musical numbers from time to time.
It's more of a like a J-pop, K-pop sort of thing.
And they call it's a J-pop magical girl anime. And if you think Sailor Moon, but horse girls, and again, I'm
weird.
done.
It's weird.
I'm done.
It's very odd, but they said it's really popular. And some anime from there
what does that
can go
mean?
really strange.
And it's based on, they said a mobile game's coming out where you get to train your own horse girl for the mobile races.
I know like everything deep down is trying to teach us a lesson. Like every movie, every TV show, every game.
Yeah.
I just don't know what this one is.
Well, it's trying to teach you that horse people are just like other people.
But what is the horse people supposed to represent?
What do they? Maybe just people?
Just
people.
Athletes, that's it.
Athletes are just like everybody else.
Dude, when they started running around the track,
I know.
I was like, what am I watching?
I watched the trailer, and I was just like, gosh, it's so weird.
Just so weird.
It's so weird. But, again, I want to know what...
Well, if anybody watched some shows on Adult Swim, in other cultures, too, it'd be super weird.
Well, that's true. And I want to know, like, again, there's a Japanese morning show right now, like... Yuri and Tanaka, and they're watching what?
It would be probably Rick and Morty.
That they're making fun of. They're like, Americans are so weird. You don't even know how weird they are. What's their choice?
We have a lot of shows that are just weird, period, even to us.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know.
There's nothing else to say.
I have nothing else to say.
But if you're like, oh my gosh, Abby, what is that? It sounds like such an amazing anime show. Like, that's amazing.
Let's see. Is it showing somewhere in the United States?
Yeah,
Not
you
that
can probably
I can
watch
find.
it on YouTube somewhere.
Wow, that's probably.
And it's something. Pretty Girl Derby. No.
Uma. Wait, hang on. I lost it. Uma Musume, Musume, Pretty Derby.
Pretty Derby.
Yep.
That's a new show.
We're going to skip out on it. We're going to skip this one.
It's sad, too, because you're like, well, I only have so much room in my head.
Right.
And I feel like that took up a spot that I want to remember something else.
Hey, I watched the first, I think, 6 episodes of the Sailor Moon reboot, and I stopped there. Like, I'm not picking up the horse thing.
With virtual reality, the possibilities are endless. It gives us the ability to live out any of our wildest dreams. So maybe we can use it to pretend the riot doesn't exist. The Riot on Radio U.
Have you been using not a hair dryer, but a hand dryer in a public restroom?
Well, no, wait. Where's the only place? Costco every so often.
Yeah.
But that's about it. Or
Did
IKEA.
you see that study from the University of Connecticut?
Are they saying it's just gross or?
Yep.
But I thought it's supposed to save on paper towels.
It saves the environment, and it's much more sanitary, except it's not. Okay.
Well, I always hit the button with my elbow, or you just put your hands under and it starts.
It's fine. That'll fix it. That's the one.
I'm not touching it.
That's the one. No, but here's where, are you ready?
Is it the hot air?
You're going to love this so much. All right, let's talk about why things smell. Because when you smell things, there are tiny particles in the air that make their way into your nose.
Yeah.
So when you go to the bathroom and it smells bad, that's because despite trying to be hygienic, little particles of you-know-what
Stop it.
are all over the place.
And someone was rude enough to not hold it till they got home.
And use the bathroom?
Yeah, they use the bathroom.
Well, here's the problem. Where do you think the hot air comes from that is being blown out at you from the dryer?
I don't know.
It comes from a magical place.
What are you telling me?
They beam in clean sanitary air.
I thought it's from the outside, the dryer vent where it just poofs things out.
No, it pulls air from inside the bathroom.
In the toilet?
It heats it. Well, not from a toilet, but it just from inside the room where you're standing, where the toilets are. And that air is actually full of particles. And so it takes them, and what does it do? It microwaves them for you and then blows them out on your hands.
Concentrated on your hands.
So hot, concentrated poop particles all over your hands.
Well, I'm never using that again. Mm-hmm. We shouldn't even go in. We should not.
Researchers at the University of Connecticut have confirmed, and I quote, that hand dryers draw in potentially infectious microbes and spread them when activated.
But I thought if something's hot enough, then it kills the bad particles.
Nope. Not in this case.
And it's on the other side of the wall.
Doesn't matter.
Not anything.
It's just you're walking through, trailing air behind you, pulling out the microbes.
I think what I want to do is honestly have the antibacterial spray. And then if you go to the bathroom, then you come out and just spray your hands with that instead of washing your hands. Because it seems like if you wash your hands in a public restroom, you're just not cleaning.
I will tell you, I stopped in a bathroom the other day and I was just like, you know what?
It's not worth it.
I'm not touching anything in here.
I also can't open the door to get out because that's just as dirty.
Yep. I took a paper towel and I was like, I'm open the door handle because there's no other way to get the door open
That's at least why I appreciate Costco because there are no doors. So you just walk out.
Not even on the stalls. Everybody's friends.
They have doors.
Okay. And then
But you also can't look like you're not washing your hands because then I always think you're not washing your hands. Yeah.
A lot of times I like bathrooms where they have the what do they call it?
You're going to have to give me more. The soap dispenser?
What do we have over there?
The Purell.
Yeah, like the hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
So you can be like, put my hand under it, and then I don't have to touch anything in this whole place.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Like when you go to a hospital room, it's on the outside.
And the inside.
And the inside.
And by the bed.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like you need one of those.
I'm just using that all the time.
Well, now we can't have anything nice, and that includes being able to dry our hands if you wash them in the bathroom.
They say a HEPA air filter can cut down on this, but it doesn't eliminate it. So.
And no place is putting that in.
Yeah, anything that's going to cost extra, that's not going in there.
But potentially help us.
Yeah, they never clean the floor, but they've got a HEPA air filter there in their hand dryer because they're that concerned.
They buy the EPA filter and they're like it's the cheap off brand.
No, they just got the PA one.
Recycling paper is like planting a tree. Recycling the Riot is like burning down the rainforest.
We ain't gonna be in no fire, not today.
It's the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
Nikki, this is what you and I should be doing. I'm not saying that what we do here isn't important and blah, 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 whatever. But you and I need to tour the world with our Godzilla toy.
I think it Seems perfect. I take the pictures.
Yes, and I have a Godzilla toy.
You get in there, and we just bring... It reminds me of a couple of years ago, you did a day with Godzilla.
Well, take Godzilla to work day?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why you haven't done that with any of your other toys.
You're right. I really should.
But it was a photo essay.
It was great. Godzilla making eggs.
Yep.
Godzilla going for a run. He was on the mic. Like, a lot of different things he did that day.
That was good.
Yeah, so here's the deal. Kieran Murray, he's 27. He travels the world with what he said was an $8 Godzilla figurine that he refers to as Ryan Godzilling. That's good.
Also clever.
That's good, dude. It's a 6-inch Godzilla that he has taken to all these different places. It kills me that he only has 15,000 followers on Instagram.
Well,
he deserves more.
He might deserve more, but I actually thought that was impressive for what he's doing.
So he takes this Godzilla toy to all these different places and then photoshops Godzilla bigger and into the photos. So like here he is at Abbey Road. And here he is. Where's that? With giraffes in New York City, somewhere on a beach in Queensland, in Australia.
Yeah.
So, the only thing I'll say about this is that I really appreciate all the traveling he's doing, but he could have also just photoshopped himself into these photos without having
Maybe he is.
to actually go to the locations.
He might actually be doing that. You never know.
He could be.
And they're really cute. I like the Chicago one.
I don't think I've... with him sitting... Yes, that's a great one.
He's just sitting next to Godzilla on the water.
That really is a great picture.
Well, why don't you do something? Why don't you do another Godzilla day? And then if he's like, you're copying. No, you're not. You did it first.
I don't have Ryan Godzilla-ing. I've got something else. We need to find this guy on Instagram. I'm going to follow him. I'm going to give him a follow. I'm going to take him to 15,001.
And once you start following, that's like your stamp of approval. And then they'll just keep rolling in.
Like everybody.
Oh, there he is at the bean.
Yeah. Do you want to go to the bean?
If you look at the bean, it almost looks like fire's coming out of Godzilla's mouth.
Wow, it really does.
That's really cool.
I don't know what that photo is, or that thing is behind him that's doing that.
Space Needle.
There's Godzilla climbing the Space Needle.
Oh, the subway. All right, yeah, find him.
In Brooklyn. That's nice. And there he is in Amsterdam. Probably, therefore... everything's legal there. Godzilla, what are you doing, buddy? Stomp some buildings. Get back to what you're good at.
His name is Kieran Murray.
I know, but you know what? This article... Oh, nope, I found it. At Ryan Godzilling. All right, I'll follow this guy. There he is feeding a brachiosaur. Oh, and there he is in Boston during the snow. I really feel like that one's photoshopped altogether. These are pretty good. All right, I'm following him. Nikki, he now has... Oh, it looks like he lost a few followers.
Oh, it's not even 15,000.
He's not at 15,000. He's at 14.5.
Well, now you can help him. He says up to 15,000 Instagram fans.
So he's not there yet. He's working on it, though.
Well,
he's
very clever idea.
That's a lot more than I have.
The Riot with Obadiah.
Oh, loneliness and cheeseburgers are a dangerous mix.
The Riot with Nikki.
Shut up.
Oh, don't tell me to shut up!
The Riot on Radio U.
Sometimes you get fast food, and they call it fast food because they're just slapping it together and throwing it out a window. All right?
Literally sometimes throwing it out of the window at you.
Just get out! Sometimes you get a nice home-cooked meal. You take a little longer. You got to clean up, whatever. Sometimes you go to a restaurant where
it's a sit-down meal.
It's multi-course. Several people are coming by and slicing off a piece of meat for you, or you're visiting the salad bar, or hopefully the dessert bar of some kind. These are the kind of all these different ways that you're going to get food. But, if you went to a really nice restaurant and they didn't have your food thrown out the window at you in less than 3 minutes, you wouldn't be like, that's it.
I'm out of here.
I'm off food. Food is a lie. I hate it. Well, here's the thing. In my relationship with God, I have had things where I've been like, God, I need you to take care of blank. And it was like, out the window at you. Done. Next. Get out. I mean,
in a nice way.
It's a metaphor, but
yes.
You get it. But then I've had other times where it's like, almost like me and God are in the kitchen, like, oh, it's still in the oven. I'm peeking. It looks great. Woo. And then other times where it's like, man, I've been waiting on that duck to come out for 3 days. I ordered it 2 years in advance. oh my gosh, when is this going to happen? Look, sometimes things happen quickly and sometimes they don't. It doesn't mean that God doesn't listen to you. It doesn't mean that God doesn't love you. It doesn't mean he doesn't care. And it doesn't mean that he's not working on it. It's just that some things happen faster than others. I don't know why it works that way. Maybe one day in the sweet by and by we'll get it. All right? Maybe we will. Maybe we won't. But the reality of it is, when you start a relationship with God, you're working on his timetable. He's the boss. And that's kind of the way that works. But, I mean, I'm making him sound kind of harsh, but he's not. God loves you, and God wants to meet you where you are. And there's going to be some things that for real are going to happen fast and some things that are going to take more time. But God's going to be with you the entire time. That's for sure. He's never going to leave you. He's never going to walk out. God's always going to be there. You got things that need healed. Some things will be fast. Some things will take time. Some things might take multiple steps to get through. But God loves you where you are, what you're doing. If you don't have a relationship with him, you just ask him. Say, God, I want that. I want you to come into my life. I want you to fill me with your spirit. I want to start doing this together. And Jesus, here's what I need help with. And lay it out, man. Tell God what it is that's going on and what you need help with. And I know this. He wants to know, and he wants to be there to help.
We thought about selling the worst of the riot, but let's be honest, no one is buying this stuff. Get it for free on the Radio U app.
Wow, I'm just learning all kinds of things this morning. Did you know that John Krasinski is married to Emily Blunt?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Oh my gosh, I let my People subscription go for like 2 months, and then
Wait,
I didn't see the wedding.
Teasing? You're teasing.
No, I really didn't know that.
That's what all they've been pushing lately.
First off, who are they and what are they pushing?
News articles, because they want you to go see the Quiet movie because, they're a couple.
Because they play a married couple and are married?
And it's cute.
Well, I didn't know that. And maybe they were being too quiet about it.
Maybe.
So I love this. I actually did see this over the weekend. That a lot of people are frustrated with the movie A Quiet Place because if you go in there, you pretty much can't eat while you watch it.
So is it really that quiet in a theater? Did anybody go see it over the weekend?
I haven't seen it yet. I feel like I need to.
Well, now I feel pressure like I can't. I don't like when I hear people eat.
Oh, my gosh.
Noises. Like, I won't be able to stand that. Especially if I want to eat something and it's like, oh, nope, I can hear myself.
I can hear myself eating.
I don't want to. So that's why I was wondering when I didn't think about it. And obviously it did well over the weekend for A Quiet Place. But I wanted to know someone's actual...
Like a real person?
A real person saying, is it that quiet during the movie to where you can hear everybody? Or
I think it's mostly silent.
It's mostly done like with sign language in it, but like, is there background music? Is there something? I don't know.
There's still with my breathing, I can't go in there.
Like with our sinus infections, like we also cannot go in until we get this done with.
And be like, hey, the mouth breather over in aisle A, could you stop it?
So I don't feel like I can go see this movie and have it be quiet enough.
It's got currently 96% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's actually a very good score.
That's great. So there's something, A Quiet Place.
But yeah, lots of tweets from people. If you were seeing it, it was very hard to eat any food during the actual movie because normally, you don't eat when it's the quiet times. Right. And the whole movie was the quiet time.
The other side of it is, like, when you think of some of the movies that you go watch, how weird are you that you're eating while you watch it? Like, I was watching this movie. What was it? The Purge. Oh, look at them killing all those guys. Could you pass me those? I
need more butter.
I like, when homicides happen and I like to have a nice pretzel I can dip some cheese in.
Yeah, but if it's an emotional or distressing movie, food, it makes you feel better.
No, it's like, yeah, he's breaking up with her. You know what? I'll have another piece of the pizza. Pass it over here. Because I love watching people suffer while I eat.
I did get annoyed because, like, I was seeing Ready Player One, and someone had, at the movie theater we're at, you can get, like, a giant pizza.
Yeah.
And it smelled so good. But I'm like, who is eating? And I could see it. I'm like, who's eating the big, giant, large pizza? Like, why can't you just eat it somewhere else? Because we can't have it. So you're sitting there smelling it.
Do you remember when we went to see John Wick last year and you came
I got the pretzel?
with that pretzel that was
shared.
bigger? You did, but that pretzel was bigger than the chairs we were sitting in. And so I don't see how that's any different than the pizza they brought in.
Because I didn't order a pizza this time.
Okay. Well, you should. Eric, go get us a pizza.
Well, you just keep looking around. You're like, who has the pizza?
Who is it? Who is? I hear you eating it. Who has the pizza?
Oh, I never told you what also happened at Ready Player One.
What?
So some people come up to us because it's an assigned seating place.
Yeah.
And I hate when people kind of have an attitude when they start off, but they're like, oh, you're in our seats. And it was a husband and a wife and maybe a couple of kids with them.
Yeah.
And they just kind of had that attitude like, you need to get up now.
Seats.
So we bought ours ahead on our app. And so we're looking at our app. We're like, no, these are our seats. And then they're showing us their app. They're like, well, they sold the tickets for the same seats. I'm like, how's that even possible? But
that's not the way it works.
they're standing there like expecting us to get up and just let them sit there. And then finally at the end, we realize, hey, you bought your tickets, but you're here a day early. It was for Saturday.
Okay.
And so we watched them during like the 20 minutes till the movie started, going from seats to
Trying to find a place to sit.
Trying to find a place to sit that was empty. And I was like, man, lady, like you're not having my seats. You're here a day early.
Listen,
you don't
your
get
problem
my seats.
isn't my problem.
It's not my problem, but I kept wanting to tell and yell down to her, like, you're going to have to move. Like, you're in a prime spot. You can't be sitting there. Someone's coming, and then I'd see them walk in. I was like, Eric, they're coming to take their seats, and then they'd have to get up again.
No. See, that's why it's great. As a Movie Pass person, when I show up at 5 minutes till the movie starts, I'm alone on a Wednesday afternoon.
That's right.
I'm good. I got no problems.
Mine was on a Friday, and I was like, you are not going to find any seats, and you don't get these.
And you're not taking mine.
So that's also what happened.
I should go to the movies with you more, but I want you to go alone.
I just didn't like it because, they had that attitude like I was in the wrong.
I hear you.
Wish the worst of the riot would never end?
Everything that has a beginning has an end.
What is wrong with you? Get our daily podcast through iTunes, Google Play, or the Radio U app.
One of the things that, and I actually don't remember the exact moment that it occurred to me, but in the process of having these many sinus infections over the last, 6 months or whatever, I think I've had 5, and since August of last year.
You are practically to a punch card,
I know.
being fulfilled.
Like my antibiotics are going to be free on the next round.
But there is something.
I don't have to pay to see my doctor, or I think I may be getting a T-shirt at some point. I'm not really sure. So it's been a long road getting from there to here. It's been a long road, but my time is finally here. I came to this realization, and it's a real shame, but ever since I had my deviated septum fix, I don't have a runny nose, like a lot of snot coming out of my nose. I get a lot of post-nasal drip, so it drops back into my throat. And so I've been hacking and coughing and spitting out a lot of phlegm. And I had this realization that phlegm and snot are the same.
Yeah, you didn't realize that?
Yeah, no, I mean, I did. But it's that
all
moment
from up there going down there.
I know, but the thing that gets me is you spend all this time in your life blowing your nose, and then you're like, put the tissues away. That's gross. Don't touch it, whatever. And then you're like, it's in my mouth. I'm blowing my nose in my mouth.
Don't say it that way. Don't say it that way.
That's what it is.
I know,
I'm blowing my nose in my mouth, and then I'm spitting it out. And hey, guys, don't mind me. I'm fine.
It's just my snot's coming out the wrong way.
I just, I blow my nose in my mouth now. I'm really glad I had that surgery.
Way to make it even worse.
These are the things that you think about when you're alone.
And it's medical.
And drugged up. And whatever. Do you know how sick that is?
I know.
That's sick, bro.
I know.
That's sick.
Okay, I coughed and sneezed the other day. You want honesty,
yeah,
right?
Let's get it. Come on.
And some phlegm came out of my mouth when I coughed and it landed on my shirt.
Yeah.
I basically blew my nose out my mouth.
Out your mouth.
Out my mouth. I was like, what's wrong with me?
Gosh.
I hate it. I hate being sick.
It's cool, though. I don't mind. Like everybody cool's doing it now.
Everybody's got
Everybody's
something.
in on it.
Do you guys have... Come to the radio. We'll get you something.
Why don't you just come snuggle up with us? We'll watch a movie. Breathe on you for a while.
And then you're like, I wonder where I got this sinus infection from.
I don't know.
I still wonder, how did we both get it at the same time when we weren't together? So how long was it in our bodies?
That's a good question.
From doing because, we left on a Friday, and then we were both sick on Monday. Mm-hmm. So when did we get the sinus infection?
I feel like mine took 1 day longer than yours, though, because
So am I the carrier? Did I get it first?
Maybe, because we had Monday, and I got together and had dinner with friends, and I had noticed what I would call this feeling I get just in my sinuses. But I was like, I'm not getting sick. I'm fine. And
no one else is sick.
I'm fine. And then I was mouth breathing all night. My mouth was all dry. I couldn't. And I was like, oh, man, you know what it means.
Sinus infection's back.
But by the end of the day, I was just like a mess.
Yeah.
And then I happened to text Nikki, and she's like, oh, me too. No. Dang it. Where did we get sick?
Don't know.
Beacon
no one
Light.
else.
It was
No.
Beacon Light. And
Actually,
Kiwi.
he was sick.
But
that would have been too long.
But what if he sneezed on the mic, and then we went over, and we were like, I'll clean it off. And then...
He was sick, but I don't think things can last that long.
You don't know. But maybe all that we needed...
Was that push?
Was one little friendly bacteria germ guy that just got up in your nose, and then he was like, I'm going to rest before I,
I'm
make
not
more.
ready yet to appear.
And then he just slowly over time was like, oh, I'm going to make myself at home.
Well, if anybody else has, I saw a lot of people still get the flu.
No, we don't have that.
We haven't had that. And
we're not getting that.
If you have a sinus infection or anything else, welcome to the club.
Yeah. Welcome to blowing your nose through your mouth.
Out your mouth.
Bro, that's gross. Yep.
That's what we're doing. Yay.
You know what's a real shame is when you're grossed out by yourself.
Yep.
Because guess who you can't get away from? You.
Send your complaints regarding that worst of the riot moment to fireobadiah@radiou.com.
How long's it been since you felt really sick? Like tummy ache, you gotta lay down. Oh, I can't go tonight because I had Taco Bell for lunch. Well, the people at Taco Bell want to bring you back.
You got a cleanse coming.
Yeah, so get the plastic, the water bottles, and let's get prepped here. Taco Bell is trying to innovate in the breakfast space. And so they have gone to the tried and true Taco Bell formula, which is just take all the ingredients and mix them in a different order.
But for breakfast, add something, like maple syrupy, which is what they're doing. If you go back to the start of Taco Bell breakfast, which has been quite a few years, but they had this biscuit taco thing.
Yes.
That was good.
Was it?
And then I think the most recent thing they've been trying is the egg. Made into a shell.
Oh, sure.
Which I don't think people liked as much. But now they've got something else.
Nikki, with that egg shell, you can eat anything because it's healthy now. Because there's no bread.
Yeah, right.
Or corn.
But man, that biscuit shell was good.
Do they still do that?
No, they don't. They haven't for a while.
And I have done Taco Bell breakfast. I found it to be honest, a little bland, but acceptable. Man, it's been a long time
well,
since
here's
we've
something
done that.
new.
All right, well, here we go. We've got the French toast chalupa.
It's a taco shell, but a French toast version.
Mm-hmm. And then they'll shove scrambled eggs, bacon, or sausage with syrup in there. So basically everything you put on your plate, but you put it in your hand. And
you'll
then they
get served
throw it
on
out
the
the window.
side. You can drizzle or you can dunk
Or
into
you can
it.
dip.
Yeah, so if you like French toast, that might be good.
Wow, look at those obviously thick sliced, hand-cooked slices of bacon.
Oh, yeah, that wink, wink.
I'm sorry, are those Bacos? I believe they are.
Well, for shipping purposes to get to the stores, it makes sense if they're chopped and they're small.
Yeah, it's a lot easier if they can just pour it out of a bag.
So Dayton, Ohio, you're getting it. The testing is currently going on now for the French toast chalupa, and then it might release to other markets or nationwide if it does well.
Well, think about that, Dayton, Ohio, part of the RadioU family. You're the only place in the entire United States.
Well, I don't like making sweeping statements like that because sometimes they
pops
say
up
it, but it pops
else.
up somewhere else. You never know.
As far as we know, that's the only place that's getting it. And if it goes nationwide, I don't know. I guess I'll eat it, whatever. You know what? Here's the thing. Taco Bell is chasing the McGriddle. No one's going to top that. You can't top the McGriddle. You get the cheese, the egg, the sausage, the pancake. That's what they're like, look, we got one.
Well, I wonder what their numbers are like, though, because Taco Bell has tried with their breakfast. And, Wendy's has some in some locations, but they did not do well with.
Wendy's had the best breakfast.
They had amazing, but it didn't pick up. And so McDonald's is normally the top when it comes to breakfast. Burger King has it, too. But I'm curious, Taco Bell has at least managed to keep it going.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you figure.
Are you making a comment? Let's make a nice comment.
I can't say because it's true about Burger King too. All right, let's divorce the following conversation from any brand, okay? I think there are a lot of fast food restaurants that are really just fronts for drug operations. It's the only thing that's keeping them in business. And so that's why.
Not the quality food.
That's how they're able to stay open.
Yeah.
That's my theory.
Well, that's a sweeping statement. I don't think it's most places, but it has been known that people pass things through the window in the bag. That's not just your food.
I'll just tell you that last week I visited a fast food restaurant that claims to be royalty in the burger family. Okay. And I'm certain the only reason that place is open is a place to sell drugs because they didn't have any food and no soda.
Is that the one that the freestyle machine was not working and so you're mad at it?
They didn't have anything in it. Coke and root beer.
That was all?
Like, what is this, a sleepover where the parents were like, 2 liters is enough, shut up. Right? Okay.
And all you get is Diet Coke and root beer.
That's it. And you're like, well, I don't want either one of these.
That's all you get.
Oh, well. The cherry's not in either.
There's no free in that freestyle.
Psst, hey, you want some oregano with this? You know what I mean?
The Riot believes in truth, justice, the American way, and high-speed internet. No, faster. Radio U.
While we're talking about TV shows and paywalls and all the different things you need to subscribe to in order to see your show.
Just anything nowadays.
Yeah. So, I mean, we were talking about the Star Trek show. That's on CBS All Access. I'm excited about Lost in Space. That's on Netflix. We've talked about the Lord of the Rings TV show that's going to be on Amazon Prime.
That'll be there.
I got one more for you. Apple has just paid big bucks for their new premiere sci-fi TV series, Isaac Asimov's Foundation.
Will be theirs.
Mm-hmm. And you're like, what even is that? Well, you know what? It doesn't matter. Just know that it was a series of really long books that my dad read when I was a kid. That's what I know about
So
it.
you should like it if you fall under the thing of like, hey, did you like Longmire? Because Longmire's loved by like every grandfather.
Well, but the thing is that would have been when my dad was young. So.
So yeah, maybe then you would like it.
I've read one of the Foundation books, like one of them. And like its whole thing of psychohistory, whatever. But it's David S. Goyer. He's the guy that wrote Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and Nikki's favorite, Blade.
Which one?
Blade.
Wesley Snipes?
You love Wesley Snipes.
No, I don't.
You're a huge fan.
No, I'm not. Don't say those things.
Upstairs in Nikki's office, there's a big poster of Wesley Snipes from Passenger 57.
That's an ironic poster.
Okay, if you say so.
It's not a real one.
So, word is, though, but like Apple's been putting together a bunch of series things.
To get
so
that.
What's the deal then? Like, is Apple going to have like a Netflix style service, or is Apple just going to sell it to you through iTunes? I mean, it's not. It doesn't say in the article, so
I don't know because I only get pushed. Like, I have Apple Music, and so I get pushed like the carpool karaoke.
Right.
Like they have a couple of not kind of like documentary sort of things that come through Apple Music that you see in that app, but not anything I feel is like TV show type where that would fit in. So I don't know how it gets to you.
Okay, so here's a list of the stuff that Apple's putting together right now. They've got series from starring different people, including Kristen Wiig, Octavia Spencer, and Jennifer Aniston. They have a Steven Spielberg produced revival of a TV show he used to do called Amazing Stories. That was like an anthology thing. Like every episode was a different story.
An amazing story.
Well, you know what? You're right. I'm sorry.
I mean,
it's branded.
It's in the
right
title.
There. It's right there. A sci-fi series from the director of The Hunger Games. A space drama from Ronald D. Moore. Now, before you scoff, he is the guy that was behind the Battlestar Galactica reboot. And what do they call it? bodice ripper kilt show.
Outlander.
And you knew what it was. And
the second you said kilt.
Okay, a psychological thriller from M. Night Shyamalan. Shyamalan? Did I put an A in there that I shouldn't have? And then a drama based on the early life of Kevin Durant. These are all shows they put together.
Oh, wait, what? There's a long list.
Focus. And the speculation is that they'll launch their service probably March of next year.
Great.
About the time that Disney will launch their service.
And then we can add more $10 charges here and more $10 charges there.
I don't know.
Maybe mine will still be a part since I do Apple Music.
I don't think so.
Maybe.
I don't think so.
Maybe?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But you know what? I think we need to get on a thing where we just rotate based on what show is out.
Sure.
So we have like, hey, I've got $10 a month this month. Where am I going to get Amazon Prime this month?
If it's not too uncomfortable, let's take our whole list, split it in half.
And then we'll
password share. You have the logins
share?
for one, and then we'll password share.
I'm comfortable with that. I mean, we're sharing everything else. We've got the same cold.
Yes, we do.
So, whatever.
We are family.
It's fine.
It's not lying.
The Riot.
They hate me. They hate you. They hate us.
Why else would they make us listen to the worst of the Riot? Radio U.
I don't have a lot of courage. And it's for that reason, and, others, that I don't compete in things like the Yukon Arctic Ultra in Canada.
Well, I didn't think courage was the first reason.
Maybe it's not.
I mean,
maybe it's not.
We don't have the drive.
Motivation,
the drive to kind of do something like an event so amazing.
I mean, I really need to start training for the Radio U 5K if we get real about it. Like, since this cold, I haven't run, I haven't nothing. I haven't done nothing. But the bonus to all of this is I have all my toes still. Oh, which is something that Nick Griffiths can't say. He's 46 years old.
So what race was it again?
The Yukon Arctic Ultra.
Okay.
Which, I mean, I didn't dig super into it, but I think it's an ultra marathon that he ran in there. So here's what he's looking to do, I believe, this week. At the downtown hotel in the Yukon, they've got a bar where... they're in the hotel where, if you lose an appendage
because of the race,
or because of just being frostbitten in the Yukon,
sure.
So he's lost a few toes.
Oh, I know what they're gonna do.
So what is it?
I know it. They put them in liquor, don't they? In a jar.
You can put it in any liquor that you want.
Yeah,
and then
it stays there.
It does, and then you have to drink from it. And there's a stipulation that the toe must touch your lips.
Ew.
When you drink the liquor.
Your
and
toe?
Then,
or is it just one of the jars?
No. This is your toe. There was another bar that has the toe that people keep drinking out of the toe jar.
Never said that before.
But this is actually we've talked about it on the show.
That's a shame.
That's unfortunately with this job, it's not very often
you're right.
that we can say, "Oh, I've never talked about that before." So what he wants to do is he wants to have this ceremony, and they have a whole big thing. And I don't think he's decided what kind of liquor he wants to use, but they call it the sour toe cocktail. And you put and here's a picture of his dead toe.
So wait. I just want to know all the details. So when you have that, does your toe stay in the liquor jar at the bar for the rest of its life?
Yes.
Okay. So there's just jars of people's things that they've lost in the Yukon because of the cold?
Yep.
They have the shelf space for this?
Well, Nikki, I don't know last time you were at IKEA, but you can get some very nice shelves that are
pretty cheap up high.
Right. And I mean, you just get them on the wall up there.
I've been to a lot of places where here's the dollars everywhere, or you put something that you sign.
Sure.
But not you're leaving your toe. Are you sure you can't put it back on?
You know what? I'll just say that I scrolled down.
Yeah.
I scrolled down to look at some of the pictures, and you can't unsee it. You can't unsee the things I've seen, but...
Well, I guess at least the good part is it's kissing your own toe, even if you lost it. At least
it's yours.
Just your toe.
Yeah, it's not a stranger's toe.
What do you get for it? Do you get money? Because this is not for the prestige or the honor. There's no honor in this.
Yes, there is. See, you haven't been to the Yukon. See, this is another problem we have with the internet, where people
that was their own private
it
problem
normalizes
there.
behavior, and so like all these people are losing their toes in the Yukon, and they're like, "Hey, you know what? Everybody loses a toe. Come on down and put it in the liquor."
To us, it's like, what are you doing?
Wouldn't it be funny? We'll put it in some like Fireball, so it'll burn on the way down.
They just didn't expect the world to find out about all this.
Well, the internet again. So, yep. So,
the trip to the Yukon, that is off my list.
Yeah, I'm not
going.
I'm not going to the Yukon.
Because I don't wear proper like socks and shoes and stuff, so I'm going to lose something if I go.
Nikki's like, what do you mean I can't wear my sandals here?
Don't tell me what to do.
I'll do what I want.
But I realize that would not be the best area, and I don't want to do this.
I'll tell
you. Do
you.
They let you out of the Yukon if you don't kiss your toe?
Yeah,
I've never said that before.
Okay, that's new. I'll give it.
New?
I'll give it to you.
Like, will they
that's
not
a
let
new
you
one.
board the plane?
Yeah, I mean, you can board the plane and you can take your toes with you, but I mean, you know.
You've also never said that.
You're probably right.
This was the worst of the riots, and we'd like to congratulate you on having the stomach to stick around to the very end. The Riot exists because Radio U exists, and Radio U only exists because of your support. Find out more and give now at RadioU.com/donate.
Hot concentrated poop particles all over your hands.